Good day to you, partner. I'm Guy, and I can already tell that I'll be your best friend in this forsaken camp.
Hey guys, Wheatsolo here, aka the Skeleton King. You know, the one, the only, the alpha, the omega. I gotta take some stress off every once in a while. So that's how I talk. Anyways, I have a video here. We're gonna talk about necros, and I don't believe there's gonna be any more nerfs or buffs. And so this is going to be the how to get to hell the fastest. This is focusing on normal and Skellies and Bone. I will not showcase Skellies and Bone in Nightmare. I do show them quickly fighting Andy on Nightmare in this video. Here's the general wrap-up of the video, and you could turn it off right after this if this is all you want to know. Skellies are best in normal. Fire golems are best in Nightmare. Fire golems are best in hell with no gear. Once you get about plus 10 skills and 75 SCR, Bone is very good for farming hell. I don't know if I'd say better than fire golems, but you could farm non-fire areas very well with just plus 10 skills and 75 SCR. Like arguably, you'd be better than the sorceress at that point because your teleport has better frames. Blood warp has been changed from the ground up. It is no longer an unusable skill. In fact, I would actually say, even as a guy who complained about blood warp, season 1, non-stop, for any build besides poison, it could be too good. They're going to have to come to some terms with teleport in PD2 because summoners need it, but it's such an imbalanced ability. They're going to need to nerf teleports more or buff teleports more. If they go the direction of buffing teleport and gust, then they're probably going to have to open the access to blink on items. They did do that in beta. I don't know where it stands right now, but that is I think their idea as of now is open up blinking and teleporting more than season 1. Okay, so that's the big wrap up. By the way, how good are Skellies in hell? Skellies aren't that good in hell. Once you get the plus 10 skills, they clear as fast as naked fire golems. Now you can farm anything. Once you get around 35-ish skills, they're better than clay golems. Like, they are flat out, don't waste your time. Even if they're tied at that point, trust me, once you get to plus 20 skills, skeletons are so much better than clay golems. There is no reason to run clay golems at all anymore. Just trust me. Don't waste your time with them. They're literally pointless. So let's go into what happened in the video. I actually gave up fighting Bloodraven with teeth. The reason why I wanted to kill Bloodraven as soon as possible is because mercs are broken. Even just giving them gear and not having the aura makes the rest of the game much quicker. What these videos are is their ×5 speed of what a normal playthrough solo might look like. Now, here's what I do. I go to Tristram, and then I clear it once, then I level up to 15. Because that's assuming you would then go to P8 groups and level in Tristram until you get to 15. I highly recommend you play that way. There are other options if you have a Players 8 group you're questing with. I would still recommend to your P8 group that you Tristram until 13 maybe. The reason you don't have to do until 15 is because while you're questing as a group, you'll gain a few more levels, and you don't have to quite do it till 15. So then that's what skeletons are doing right now, is they're pumping up all the way to 15. I finished Tristram. I think it's pretty accurate that they would go that much quicker. I actually almost tried to do golems pure until level 30, and I gave up on it because it would be so obnoxiously slow. And basically the reason I decided to just go Skellies is if trying to skip putting points in the clay golem so I don't have to waste a respec when I get to level 30 is my objective. And it seems like that would be very slow. then why not just put points in the clay golem? Because in the end, these respecs are here to make you get ist runes faster. Use your respecs to get to hell faster. Yes, save one, sure. But, I mean, at least use one, because every build has specs that outperform others in certain difficulties. So at least use one to just get yourself gearing faster, because you'll make more that way. Think of it this way. A 40-15, when the season launches, is going to be about a bear rune after 2 weeks. After a month, it's going to probably be 5 or 6 high runes. After 2 months, it's probably going to be close to 10 high runes. The last time I saw people trading seriously on ladder was like the end of 3 months. Like for a week or two, it was still pretty active. And people were trading 40-15s for 15 high runes regularly. So if you're going, oh, I don't want to waste my respec because it cost a mal rune, man. It cost an ist rune, man. Hey, man, I can't afford a mal or an ist. But you waste time getting your mal or ist rune, then you are screwing yourself. You're literally fucking yourself in your own asshole, because prices go up throughout the season. They go up for good gear, they go down for bad gear. And don't buy bad gear. Now, if you're buying, what's a commonly found piece that has no value? IK set. Now that's actually pretty expensive early on in PD2 because everyone wants to get their Act 5 merc with the IK set, because basically if you give him that, he's a fairly cheap merc that can just do almost any vanilla content, and he can almost help you do Ubers. That's how good he is. If you play an rune for, which say IK boots, IK belt, and an IK maul, then fine, just do it. I think you're honestly overpaying, even after a week. But again, getting the gear you need fast will save you more time than going, I don't know, man, I think each one's worth 0.01. So I want the maul, I want the helm, I want the gloves, I want the boots, I want the belt, I want everything but the chest for an If someone isn't offering that, just stop trying to get it, because you're gonna screw yourself into actually playing and getting better. So back to the video. We went through a quick little rant about why I think it's worth it to waste respecs. What are we doing with skeletons and normal? We're going raise skeleton first, then skeleton mastery, then skeletal mages. That's the skill priority. What's our stat priority? We're going faster run walk. We're going plus skills. We're going faster run walk. Faster run walk. I actually tried to shop for boots several times for faster run walk. Now, let's say you have enough faster run walk, or you're not getting lucky. You're not getting lucky on plus skills. What else? Resistances. Put all your points in life and just get your resistances high enough so that when you go in the nightmare, you're not worried about it. And then get your resistances high enough when you get into hell to not worry about it. Now, what if you wanted to go bone? Now, just looking at this video, where is my bone player? Oh my god, he's finally doing Andy. And where's my Skelly player? Oh, dude, that guy's smart. He's already in maggot layer. And this is where somebody could go, hey man, I don't know, I think Bone's going to catch up in Act 2. They don't. I thought they actually, my bone character did do Act 2 faster. That is true, but it didn't go as fast as I thought, and that's because I didn't hit level 18 when I got to maggot layer. And you really need spear to make maggot layer go that much faster than skeletons. Yes, it went faster. No, it didn't go that much faster. So then what if, hey man, I just want to play bone, okay? I don't care, it's not about respecs, it's about what I like. Okay, bone is still fine for normal. Like I said, anything is fine in this game. You will crush normal and nightmare with any build. So if you want to go bone, you max teeth first. You put 1 point into its synergies, and you max teeth. If you have any spare points, save them for pumping a few extra points into bone spear. Put 1 into clay golem. That was a mistake I made at first. As I was like, I want to save my extra points to get extra points in the bone spear, which is a nice idea, and that's arguable. That would have helped me at very specific points. I gave up on it. Just get 1 point into clay golem. it makes your life a lot simpler. I think in this video, I ended up finding a shield that gave me plus clay golem, so I was able to avoid it. If you find a shield with plus clay golem, think about skipping it. You really just want to finish bone before you get your meat shield, whatever you choose. So teeth, then bone spear, teeth, then bone spear, teeth, then bone spear. That's the skill priority. What's your stat priority? Well, it's basically the same, but you want FCR. And that's the real reason why bone sucks in normal, is when I fought Andy, my skeletons did 50 DPS each, and I had 8 of them. When I fought Andy with bone, my teeth were doing 50 each. So I did nearly 8 times the damage that my bone character did, and didn't have to worry about FCR or mana. Let's fast forward. When I do Diablo at level 25, having done my Tall Rasha Tomb runs, my Skellies with a worse wand were doing 250 each, thanks to a skill shrine. I snapshotted them. By the way, the only way I know of that a Necromancer breaks snapshot is by leveling up. So keep that in mind. If you are level 25, you're close to Diablo, you see a skill shrine, skip minions. Just cast your skeletons, get them that nice juicy +2 all skills. Get to Diablo, kill them. It'll be way better than leveling up and getting 1 hard point in something. What was my bone doing? My bone on Diablo at level 25 were doing 150 each with a +3 teeth wand. I think the best wand I found for skeletons was like +2 skeleton warrior. What was my bone spear doing? Oh, it was like a little worse, 125. The reason being, I pumped so many points into teeth at that point, it was still a higher base damage. I ended up using bone spear for most bosses, and that's because even though teeth were doing more damage, it cost a lot more mana, and you have so much mana issues. I actually put some points into energy. So besides your stat priority being FCR, mainly for bone, think about putting like even 15 points into energy, because you're going to save yourself a lot of stress. Okay, so we've established Skellies are so much more dominant in normal. What happens when you go into Nightmare? I actually think bone catches up to Skellies in Nightmare. My bone were doing 1k teeth, I was doing 1.5k bone spears, and 2k bone spirits. My Skellies, they were only doing 4.2k, my warriors, and then my mages were doing about 1.8k. So as you can see, if my Skelly DPS is 4.2k, instead of being 8 times my teeth, they're only 4 times my teeth. And compared to Bone Spear, they're only about 3.5 times better. And compared to Bone Spirit, they're only 2 times better. Now you're starting to see how it's a lot more manageable to play Bone into Nightmare, because you can easily cast 2 Bone Spirits a second. That's not that much FCR you need. In fact, you might even be lucky enough to cast 3 in a second. Yeah, maybe. I think you could manage that. I think that's 48 or 75 FCR for 3 casts per second. So it catches up. And again, it's the same stat priority. Plus skills, faster run walk for skeletons, get your res up. For bone, it's FCR, 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 plus skills, FCR, FCR, plus skills, some res. But that's not really the issue here. Now, why is that? That's because fire golems do 10k with no gear. If you put 20 points in the fire golem and 20 points in the golem mastery, which you can do at level 50, they do 10k. Each one is doing a 2k holy fire that procs once every 3 seconds. That means I literally just walked through Nightmare, and it was probably one of the most unfun things I've ever done in this game, because once you get over the novelty of how broken you are, you're literally just trying to walk through the game. Like, you just get tired of it because it's so easy. You're like, just get me to the next difficulty, dear God, please. So if you do want to play into Nightmare, I highly recommend Fire Golems. Now, again, I would say Bone is a bit better for Nightmare than Skeletons. What about Hell? again, fire golems are among the best no gear hell specs in the game right now. They clear cows in 5 minutes. We will get to that later. But say you want to keep going Skellies or Bone. Hey man, I want to save those respecs. You know? I mean, there's people I'm trying to convince not to do this, and they're like, I don't care, man. And it's like, all right, it's up to you. You want to play Skellies all the way through. What do you do in Hell? You're actually pretty good. Once you get to Hell, Clay Golems finally catch up to Skeletons. And I would say Clay Golems are clearly better than Skeletons until you get the plus 10 skills. And Skeletons are clearly better than Clay at plus 20. Now, plus 20 is actually not in-game gear. That's mid-game. That's what I consider mid-game gear, is plus 20 skills. And for Bone, you'd have 75 FCR. Like, okay, maybe you have 48 and plus 20 and your reses are capped. Like, okay, one of those two situations, all right? Let's not get into the details here, you know, because that's what the devil is. That's where Diablo is. He's in the details. I don't want to get stuck there. You might go, well, then I'll go Clay. But it's like, well, Skellies are clearly faster, normal, and Nightmare than Clay. Well, I'll go Clay for Hell. If you're gonna start using respecs, why don't you listen to me earlier and just respec to Fire for Nightmare and Hell? Hey man, back off. So there, that's my little rant. At plus 10 skills, Skeletons clear as fast as naked Fire Golems. Now, if you had plus 10 Fire Golems, they'd clear a bit faster, but again, you're relegated to fire-only farming areas, and some people don't like that. So if you really want to play Golems, and you wanted to play Clay Golems, even though I'm telling you it's bad, I would say Skeletons and Clay Golems are tied in efficiency at 35 points. And trust me, it is actually pretty easy to get plus 15 skill points. Again, all Necromancer minions snapshot, so you can just summon your plus 15 Skellies and then put on your res gear. Or you can summon your plus 15 Clay Golems and put on your resistance gear. And I am telling you right now that plus 15 skills, they're just as good as each other. So in Hell, Bone doesn't get much better because you've already maxed all your skills. Skeletons don't get much better. So what do you do there? You start going into curses for Skeletons. I prioritize Curse Mastery. Then I go Amp Damage. Then I go Lower Resist. And then I go Decrepify. Now, I actually don't max Amp Damage. I want to kind of split my points between Amp and Lower Resist. Yes, Skeletons are better, but you don't need more than minus 50 physical resistance. So pump up your mages a bit, and then when you play in groups, you're helping the group out a bit more too. And save a few points for Decrepify. It's kind of up to your play style. If you're feeling like your damage is fine, you're playing solo, but you want some more survivability, put a few more points into Decrepify early on. It'll really help you out, trust me. Now, what about Bone? Well, once you max all your Bone spells, I suggest getting Decrepify. You don't have to. Again, this is kind of like an optional thing at this point. It kind of just makes your life a little easier. But you're going to want to get maybe a Meat Shield, so Clay Golems kind of work, kind of the same as Decrepify, but you can kind of get both, you know? And by the way, don't max Clay Golem, just max Golem Mastery. So get max Golem Mastery, get 1 point in Decrepify. And the big thing is you really need to get to 48 or 75 FCR as soon as you can. I would actually say FCR is much more important than plus skills for Bone. Yeah, there's a min-maxing curve where, you know, plus 20 skills is better than, you know, going from 48 to 75 FCR. So if you're, you know, trading 20 skill points for 33 FCR, then obviously rethink the way you view the world around you, where you need a person like me, the Skeleton King, to tell you that plus 20 skills is obviously better than FCR, even though I just said prioritize FCR. So use some of your own intelligence. I know you guys aren't that stupid. Trust me, play the game a bit. You'll figure it all out on your own. Now, so here's the conclusion. What should you do if you take my advice and use the best skill for each difficulty? Skeletons and Normal, done. Fire Golems and Nightmare, done. Stay Fire Golems in Hell, done. In fact, I think you should go Fire Golems once you get level 45, because you can put 15 points in the Fire Golems, max Golem Mastery, start working on Lower Resist, and then once you get to 50, you will literally, the screen will just evaporate. It's almost like they should just put a little GG screen up, and you can just go on to Hell. In Hell, stay Fire Golems. I would stay Fire Golems until plus 20 skills before switching, Or if you want to play Bone, I would stay Fire Golems until you hit 75 FCR at least, and at least plus 10 skills, and get some resistances. Don't drive yourself crazy. So those are my recommendations. Have a fun season, guys. They've done great things to Necromancer.